Tyler, how valuable is it that you guys had to go through some stuff today, that not everything went according to plan?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing, actually. I mean, obviously we want to score every drive, and we want to move the ball with ease, and I want to make every throw. But I think, like Jake said, adversity, we needed that. For the rest of the season, just to experience that a little before we go to the next game. But we got to be better on offense. We got to play better at it, make better throws, and we're not going to win how I played next week if I play like that today.
Did you feel a little off the first half today? Did you feel different or?
I mean, I just miss throws that I never usually miss. I make all those throws in practice every time. I just got to hit them. Offense. We started slow. We can't do that. We got to start fast and stay at that level the entire game. Already until the last play of the game, so we just got to be a little bit better.
When you're like uncharacteristically missing throws, like is that something where you think like you're gonna look at film tomorrow and see mechanical, like do you kind of have it fixed for that, like a thing that you can usually spot on film that you're like, oh, I did this wrong, and if I did this, then I would have been my usual self?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of mechanics. Sometimes you get a little too low. I got to keep my elbow up, and I'll probably go back to the facility tonight and throw a little bit and just get that ready before next week. And I think it's a mechanical thing.
Tyler, the flea flicker, typically there's a lot more separation. Well, off, you see a lot more separation. Keyshawn didn't have time, even though he has a lot of speed. The touch you had to put on that throw, I know not everything is perfect. But that's pretty good ball since there's a couple of defenders kind of around us.
Yeah, that's probably my best throw of the day. Keyshawn did a great job he got past the defense, a little bit of separation, and he did a great job of holding on to the ball. And it was a great call by Coach Gaddis after the punt return. Obviously it was one of my better throws, but I'm happy we won, but I'm a little bit disappointed myself, and just got to be better.
Tyler, you probably heard about Texas A&M all summer, all camp, and was it difficult to keep your mind off of them this week?
Not really. Coach Cristobal preaches every day, just one day at a time, want to know every day. And, we were focused on Southern Miss the entire week, really thinking ahead. We'll start thinking about them later this evening and then tomorrow.
Kind of want to talk about Josh Gaddis, the coach, a little bit. Obviously he had a pretty good balance offensively with the Wolverines. What kind of an influence has he had on this offense, and did you start to feel a little bit more with the passing yards and the rushing yards being a little bit more balanced?
Yeah, it definitely is more balanced. It's a good thing. We got to be more balanced in both the pass and run game. And running the ball helps the pass game. So I'm sure some other games will go different this year based on how the team plays. Our goal this week was to dominate up front and then be aggressive and take shots when needed. But yeah, the balance is good.
Tyler, how good was it to get guys like Brewster and Zion back?
Yeah, obviously they're on a play count. Yeah, it's good to get them back on the field. Get a little taste in the mouth this week, and be ready for next week.
Tyler, last week, the O-line kept a pretty clean pocket for you. This week, a few more challenges, a lot of blitzes. You got sacked 4 times today. And what was it like personally for you, just having to deal with that kind of pressure for the first time this year?
Yeah, definitely. A little bit of miscommunication up front. Some of the guys, I think I had 2 sacks and 1 sack on me, which I could have got out of. But those guys did a good job today. Otherwise, we're gonna fix it and we're gonna be better.
And then the last play you were in where you got sacked and came out, everything like okay? Did you get things up a little bit?
No, I'm good. Yeah, they just subbed it out. So.
Tyler, I know you obviously you haven't started preparing yet for Texas A&M, but just the idea of going against a top 10 team at their stadium, it's supposed to be a really rowdy, actually I've been there, really rowdy atmosphere with the fans. The excitement level for you, and how fun is that?
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to get there. I'm trying to think. The last game I played was probably Florida State last year, and I'm assuming Texas A&M is a little bit louder than that, bigger stadium. So yeah, I'm definitely excited. We're definitely excited as a team, and can't wait to play.
A couple more for Tyler. How much did you study Texas A&M maybe in the summertime before you guys got in camp?
Yeah, that's the team I was probably studying the most. Watching their spring game, watching some film from last year. yeah, once the season started, we really was much film on them. Obviously, focusing on the other team, 2 teams we played before. So, we watched a good amount of film early in the summer, but now we're obviously going to start ramping it up.
How much did you guys maybe necessarily save? These first 2 games, it seemed like, it was kind of very straightforward. They were just going to run the ball, maybe not show a lot. But you said that there's a whole lot left to display.
Yeah, there's probably a good amount to display. Obviously, we ran, a base offense, a little bit of trickery in there, but there's definitely some more to display.
Tyler, you connected a few times with Rashard Smith. How has your chemistry with him really grown?
Yeah, it's been good. I think Rashard made some great catches today. I think the first one he had and kind of juggled a little bit, some great catch, and then over the middle, one time was a great catch too. So he's come a long way, and I'm excited to keep playing with him.
Tyler, earlier in the week, the school actually announced it'd be selling player jerseys with last names on them to the public this year. As a starting quarterback of the program, how special do you think that'll be for the players to have that, knowing that there are fans out there they may not know cheering them on from quarter 1 through quarter 4?
Yeah, it's definitely cool. Never had that before, so it's definitely cool to have those jerseys out there and have everyone be supported. I think it's a great thing that NIL allows that, which it has in the past. So, yeah, it's definitely a good thing.
Henry, another good performance for you. Obviously, first 2 games back here in Miami have gone really well. Just how fun have these 2 games been for you? And now obviously you got a big one coming up.
It felt very amazing. The University of Miami. I'm playing in my backyard. Just got to take it step by step, process by process, and just execute.
You got to kind of be the guy through 2 weeks. You've had most of the carries. I know at Ole Miss, obviously, you were, I think, 3rd in carries last year. Do you feel like you're kind of making the most of that opportunity, taking your game to another
Of course, I just put my head down to work, come prepared every day, 1-0 mentality, and just ready to grind. That hard work, you got to love it. So, you just got to put your head down and work.
What did you see from Southern Miss's defense in the first half, especially they're kind of keeping you guys on the ropes?
They showed us some things that we never, we really didn't see in practice. So, they came out with different. So we just had to really adjust to it and try to make it go.
Anything else for Henry?
Just your thoughts, Texas A&M next week, it's going to be a huge game, ridiculously loud crowd, just your thoughts on that game going into that tough environment next week.
We just focusing on ourselves, let the outsiders be, just come prepared every day to work, this is what we work for, and this is what everybody wanted, so here we go. So you just got to work, prepare, and I prepare your opponent.
You've played there before, right?
Nah, not at Texas A&M. No.
What have you heard about, the atmosphere?
I heard they had the biggest stadium in SEC football, 100 and whatever thousand fans they have, and that's really it.
Obviously, different team this year, but what do you remember from playing them in the past?
They was really fast, aggressive, and you just got to attack them in certain areas, so you just got to make it go.
Last couple questions for Henry.
Anything on Jalen Knighton, his first game back?
Of course, it's good to have my boy back. We don't have the whole room back, so just having Rooster back and just having that progression, it's just excited to see.
I saw a lot of Inez Cooper at tight end, giving you guys 6 linemen. Just the way that Coach Gaddis schemes up that run game, we've asked you a lot about that, but just what do you think of that wrinkle there?
Man, it's amazing, man. They don't know what we're doing, so we just gotta next thing we pounding the ball. Next thing we get 20 yards, so. It's amazing to see. So,
Henry, you carried the ball 23, 24 times. How was it receiving that type of workload today?
Just you prepare for moments like this. You just work, and everything will speak for itself. So, I just put my head down and just always work, ready to work, compete, and have that 1-0 mentality.
And then Columbus had
the last question for Henry.
Columbus had that big win yesterday against Jesuit. Have you been still paying attention to what's happening in your own?
Yeah, I've seen it, but I haven't really got into it. But I've got some guys that was at the game, and they gave me a little snippet of how I went, and see pride, baby, all the way.
Michael, last couple of weeks, you've started to pick up steam, and you're making catches, you're getting open. Talk about what's been the awakening for you.
Well, I'll say probably just getting extra work. So me finding time, just working on my body or catching extra football or watching more film and just more just getting extra work in so I can get better, so I can improve and keep on getting better.
What did you see from the offense in the first half? What were the cause of you guys kind of starting off slowly?
I'll say execution. I feel like there are some plays that we left out there, some meat on the bones. And I think if we, executed or not shoot ourselves in the foot, I think there are some plays that we could have done better, or if everybody done their job, we would have got what we needed from those plays.
Michael, how would you evaluate your performance along with the wide receiver room's performance?
I think there were some things that we did miss. We were catching the football, we were making some blocks, but we also missed some blocks. We missed some assignments. So it's kind of right in the middle. We missed some things, but there's some things we still can improve on.
You guys obviously have a big game next week, one that everybody should be talking about. And time you guys study, a little bit of Texas A&M. So I'm just curious thoughts on them from what you remember seeing this over time.
Normally in the summer we was focused on ourselves, just working hard, and we're gonna focus on one game at a time. So we're gonna watch some film tonight. So kind of our study is gonna happen more tonight, and so we're gonna study tonight and focus on them this week.
Obviously, it's going to be loud next week, probably one of the loudest environments you've ever played in. Just how is this offense ready for that challenge to go on the road in that crowd?
So actually, when we're at practice, we practice with noise. So it's one thing that helps us prepare for football games. So we'll be good. We have noise at practice, so I think we'll be properly prepared.
But are you guys getting together tonight to?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You want to be a great football team, man. We come together and get extra work in. We find ways to get better. So
It's like the receivers and Tyler.
yeah, we got a group chat, man. We're trying to get better, man.
So it's just yourself, the players get together yourselves, it's a group player-led kind of thing?
Yeah.
On Green Tree,
So we got a group chat, so we can go to the Green Tree. We meet at each other's houses. That's how we build that connection.
And then the other thing, again, about Texas A&M, have you ever heard, how do you feel about playing a top 10 team and also that place is really, really crazy, loud atmosphere? Have you heard about it?
Of course. Biggest thing is probably just staying locked in, just focus on what we need to do. We know that it's going to be a lot of outside noise, but we got to focus on our noise and the inside noise in our organization. So not necessarily focus on the outside noise and all the fans and stuff, and focus on what we need to do to win the football game.
Obviously, you'd love to play perfect every single week, every single play, but how much is it a benefit? Does it help you guys where say, okay, we had some issues and we worked to fix them, we can do that?
So it's okay to fail. Sometimes you want to face adversity so you can learn from it. And the more times we make mistakes, the more mistakes we learn from. And the biggest thing is not make the same mistake that you made last time. Make sure that you learn from the first mistake.
Defensively, did Southern Miss show anything on the field that they didn't show on film? And if they did, how are you guys able to adjust?
I don't think they show anything different that we haven't seen on film. I think everything that they threw at us, we've seen before. It was just we was the ones making the mistakes, so we had to fix our mistakes. That's why we had a slow start in the first half.
And what adjustments did Coach Gaddis and the coaching staff try to make in that halftime in the second half?
We stuck to our game plan. We stuck with it. We still took shots. You know what I mean? We still handled some of the pressures that they threw at us.
Anything else for Michael?
Michael, what have you noticed about the evolving discipline of this team under a new coaching staff, especially Coach Cristobal through 2 games now? They're non-conference opponents, but that leads into Texas A&M, which should be critical.
I think discipline has been great. I think we've been really, really locked in. We've been really, really focused. We've been doing everything we need to do. Everybody's been on time, and we have a great motto. How you do anything is how you do everything. And I feel like my teammates and everybody around me, that's the motto. That's it. Early is on time. How we do anything is how we do everything.
Leonard, you had a nice little sequence there early in the second half. Talk about those couple plays.
Really, I feel like I didn't do too much in the first half, so I was talking to myself in the locker room like I gotta get right, telling my teammates I gotta make some plays, and then went out there and I made it happen.
What did the coaches say to you guys at halftime? Obviously, Mario said you guys played a little sluggish at times. What did they tell you guys in the locker room there?
Coach, they really just slow it down, take our time, really be patient. Like we were just too high up. We started off slow at first, and then we just changed it around. We got like, all right, coach talked some sense to us, made us slow the game down a little bit.
When you say like high up, you like anxious?
Like I feel like we were anxious, like a lot of anxious. Like.
What did he exactly say at that time?
I don't know word for word. Really just to focus and play our ball. We've been working, we did all that work for this week and just go out there and play our ball.
What do you think the defense did to improve from last week? You know, what improvement did you see this week? What things did you guys do better?
I feel like our tackling got a lot better. Coach still talks about that all the time, that our tackling, we needed to progress it, and I feel like we did a good job doing that this week.
It seemed like the pass rush got a lot better in the second half today too. You guys were able to get a lot more penetration, you know, get in the quarterback's face. Just what did you guys make adjustments at the half, or what kind of changed where all of a sudden you're getting back to a lot more?
I mean, it really coach just kept stretching, go get the quarterback, and we just got the quarterback.
And that little sequence for you with the sack and the tackle for loss, I'm sure had to felt pretty good back to back like that.
Yeah.
Take us through those plays, what you saw.
I mean, I just seen daylight, really. I took on the block, and next thing I know, I was in the backfield both times.
Well, last week, obviously, you had Bethune-Cookman, you know, you had a really big game scoring-wise, and now your opponent was considerably better. So what did you learn from an opponent that was much more inferior than the one that you had here? You have a much higher quality opponent from one week to the other.
I mean, both teams, they were very good teams. I feel like we just put in the work, and we accomplished what we had to accomplish.
How difficult was it not to think about Texas A&M?
I mean, we just take it week by week, actually. I mean, after the day when 12 o'clock hit, our focus is on Texas A&M, and they're a good team, we're a good team, so we're just going to go out there and play our ball.
Anything else for LT?
Yeah, I mean, your first road game, talk about that a little bit, and what kind of state of mind you have to have, what you tell the younger guys about road games.
I mean, really just be focused, we got to lock in, really. It's going to be a big game this week, and we just got to go out there and do what we do.
Leonard, earlier in the week, Miami announced that they're selling player jerseys with last names on the back for the first time ever. What will that mean to you? How special would it be to see a fan out there cheering you on, who you may not know, but is also rocking your jersey with the name Taylor on that?
I mean, that's a very special moment. I've seen it a lot sometimes in high school, but in college, that's just different. Like, a lot of people know who you are, and then they rep you number 2. I mean, that's a good feeling, yeah.
Jake, how much of a challenge did you guys feel coming into the game to stop Frank Gore, and how does it feel now after the game where he was relatively invisible?
Yeah, that was definitely the main game plan going into the game was these guys are going to come in here and try to run the ball, so that was a huge emphasis. We got to stop the run, so we did a great job of that. Obviously, we started a little bit slow. We got to give them credit. They came out and they played good ball.
Jake, what adjustments did the defensive line make from the first half to the second half? It seemed like the pass rush was a lot more effective in that second half.
I would say it's more just we had game plan for a lot of wildcat with Frank Gore Jr. back there. So and when we saw they weren't really doing that, we kind of just got out of that and played our ball. So it made it a lot easier to affect the quarterback.
LT said that, you know, you guys playing maybe a little bit anxious or in the first half. Did you see that? And, you know, as a veteran, do you kind of take it on yourself, kind of settle those nerves and stuff?
I can't say I really felt the same anxiety. Then again, I played a lot more ball than LT. I'm 23 years old. But yeah, basically as an older guy, I got to be that guy to kind of calm the nerves of the younger dudes, especially dudes that maybe haven't played in a real college football game, and they're asked to step up. So it's important to be like that mentor for them.
And what did Mario and the other coaches tell you guys at halftime? Obviously, you know, not playing your best in the first half, picked up in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, they really weren't too crazy. They really, they told us we could get it done, and they want to see us play Hurricane football, and that's what we did. We just knew. We all looked at our teammates in the locker room. We all looked at each other, and we could see it in our eyes, like, we're not doing this. Like, we're gonna turn this around in the second half, and so it didn't really take them saying too much. We took a lot of ownership as players.
Obviously, like last week, you guys were never really tested.
Yeah.
Well, this week, you mentioned like having to make some adjustments.
Yeah.
So, like, just how important is it to get a game like that in early where?
Yeah, very important. While we were at the hotel, the coaches stressed
we're going to see some adversity today, but it's all about how you respond. And I think we took that to the heart, and we really capitalized on that and responded to adversity in the right way.
Hey Jake, the coaching staff takes great pride in obviously preparing you guys for this heat. Did you guys feel, it was obviously a hot day.
Yeah.
Did you feel yourselves getting stronger as the game went on?
I definitely felt that way. I didn't really feel fatigue. Felt like I had my legs under me throughout the whole game. So definitely grateful I get to train down here and practice in this weather.
So Jake, obviously you go from Bethune-Cookman to Southern Mississippi, now you got Texas A&M. It looks like you're starting to step up in class with the opponent. So now we'll talk about going into the third week. What do you feel that you learned about your team now as you face an elite opponent?
Well, I'd say today, like I said, we learned we can respond to a little bit of adversity. Not playing the best first half, but Texas A&M, of course, is a big game, but we're not going to look at it any differently. We're just going to take it one step at a time, go 1-0 every day. Practice hard on Tuesday and Wednesday, full pads, and that's where the game is won. So just make sure we lock in on our preparation and go hard in practice.
Jake, have you heard anything about Texas A&M? College Station. Have you ever been there? Do you know what the atmosphere is like there?
I've never been there, but I played in the Texas Longhorn Stadium, and that stadium was pretty nuts. So I'm expecting it to be very loud.
And what would you tell the younger guys about, their first road game and what should they be aware of?
Yeah, I would say just don't interact with the fans, because that could really get your mind off the game, and basically just focus on ball, and that's what we came here to do. So those guys are going to be ready for sure.
Hey Jake, Inez Cooper, I don't know how often you've gone up against him in practice, but coach is obviously using him a ton and different boxes. What makes him maybe unique or tough to deal with?
Yeah, I have gone against him a good amount. He's a big dude for a freshman, a heavy dude. He's got heavy hands, so whenever you're going against him, you got to strike him and lock him out and get him off you, because if he gets into your chest, he's going to move you a little bit.
In the first half,
We'll do a couple more for
in the first half, when you guys are down, who does the most talking in the huddle? Who's the verbal guy who gets everybody going?
I would say Corey Flagg and Wayman Steed come around and just get us going and really have us lock in.
Anything else for Jacob?
Jacob, you mentioned that you played at Texas. I'm curious if you guys caught the end of Alabama, Texas in the locker room after your game.
I did not. What?
Alabama.
Alabama?
They went the length of the field in a little minute.
Dang.